Chosen one, listen closely. Every tear you have shed, every quiet moment of sorrow you thought was unnoticed, has been seen. The heavens have not ignored your pain. They have collected it like a river gathering drops from countless streams, forming a tide that carries your prayers directly to the heart of God. You are not forgotten. You are not invisible. What you believed was broken, delayed, or overlooked was in fact being preserved for a purpose far beyond your understanding. I know the nights you lay awake questioning if your faith mattered, if your perseverance counted, if the silent prayers whispered in desperation would ever rise. Let me tell you something sacred. Every tear has been a prayer, every sigh, a song, every longing, a message written on the scrolls of heaven. And now, chosen one, the very prayers you thought fell into emptiness are awakening to action. You have been walking a hidden path, one that many cannot see, one that the world often misunderstands. Your struggles have felt heavy, almost unbearable. And yet they were shaping you, molding your heart into a vessel capable of receiving what God has prepared. This is why your patience, your tears, and your devotion matter more than you have ever realized. Tonight, a new chapter begins. A chapter where your hidden prayers will no longer linger in silence. A chapter where divine acknowledgement manifests in ways that will astonish you. The favor, the breakthrough, the redemption you've been praying for is stirring. And as you listen to this word, you will sense the shift, a spiritual current moving around you, aligning everything that was meant for your destiny. But hear this revelation is not a reward for what you've done alone. It is a declaration of God's love, God's timing, and God's faithfulness. It is a promise that the smallest, quietest expressions of devotion, the tears, the whispered cries, the moments of surrender, have all been recorded in heaven. And now they are being answered. Brace yourself, chosen one, for what you are about to hear is not just guidance. It is destiny calling loudly enough for your spirit to recognize the unmistakable voice of God. What was silent will now speak. What was hidden will now shine. And the world around you will see the testimony of your faith revealed. Your tears were never wasted. They were prayers collected carefully, and now they will yield fruit beyond anything you could imagine. As you feel the weight of what has just been spoken, allow your heart to recognize the source of this movement. It is not human understanding guiding these words. It is the voice of God Himself speaking directly into your life. Every tear, every silent prayer, every unspoken longing has been carefully noted, treasured, and now is being brought to light according to His perfect timing. You were never alone in your struggle. Every moment of quiet desperation was met with divine attention. The hand of God had been working subtly, orchestrating circumstances that the world cannot see. Sometimes it appears as delays, obstacles, or unanswered questions. Other times as a gentle nudge, a word that lingers in your mind, or a feeling of calm amidst chaos. These are not coincidences. They are the deliberate fingerprints of heaven guiding your steps, preparing your spirit, and aligning your destiny. What you believed was happenstance was, in reality, a sacred design unfolding in the background of your life. Your path has been carefully mapped. Even the smallest details, the people who crossed your path, the opportunities that passed the doors, that remained closed, were divinely appointed to shape your heart and sharpen your faith. God has been teaching you patience, endurance, and trust. He has been preparing your spirit to recognize the fullness of what is coming, to embrace the blessings without fear, and to respond with a heart that reflects His glory. This revelation is not random. It is the culmination of every prayer offered in faith, every tear shed in hope, and every moment you held on when the world around you encouraged surrender. It is destined. Every silent cry, every whisper of your heart has been preserved as if heaven was carefully collecting a sacred offering, waiting for the moment when it would be transformed into manifestation. You are entering a season where spiritual understanding deepens. The invisible threads connecting your life to God's divine plan are becoming visible. You will begin to recognize His guidance in ways that feel personal, unmistakable, and intimate. The signs, the confirmations, and the alignments are all already moving toward you, signaling that what has been promised is not just possible, it is inevitable. And yet the power of this moment lies not just in the acknowledgement of your prayers, but in your readiness to receive it. God is calling you to step into awareness, to prepare your heart to align your intentions, and to embrace the unfolding of this divine orchestration. The unseen currents of heaven are already at work, moving around you, through you, and for you. Every tear, every sorrow, every moment of longing that once felt heavy is now being transformed into a sacred pathway. The divine voice continues to whisper, guiding, reassuring, and awakening your spirit. Listen closely, for what you are hearing is not mere comfort, it is instruction, encouragement, and preparation for the revelation that is coming. Your prayers have been collected, and now in God's perfect timing, they will be answered. Now the moment your spirit has been waiting for begins to reveal itself. Imagine a sky that has been gray for seasons, the clouds heavy with rain, yet underneath the sun has always been shining, waiting for the right time to break through. That sun is your destiny, and the gray clouds were the seasons of waiting, testing, and preparation. Every tear you have released, every whispered prayer in the stillness of night has been collected and stored like precious seeds, ready to bloom in perfect timing. The prophecy for your life is unfolding with precision. You will soon witness doors opening that were long thought closed. Opportunities that seem distant, almost impossible, will arrive suddenly, as if heaven itself is making way. The favor of God, which has quietly surrounded you for months, even years, is now becoming visible. Those who once overlooked you will recognize the light within you, and what you thought was hidden is now destined to shine. But this revelation is not only about what the world will see. It is about the awakening within you, the growth, the clarity, and the transformation that has been silently developing during the seasons of waiting. You are stepping into a new level of spiritual understanding where your prayers no longer float aimlessly. They return with power, precision, and purpose. What you have believed to be silent is in fact alive. What you thought was lost has been carefully guarded for this exact moment. Picture your life as a river flowing through valleys and mountains. For a long time, the current seemed slow, the journey uncertain. But now the river is swelling, energized by unseen streams, carrying with it momentum that cannot be stopped. That momentum is the answer to your prayers. It is the manifestation of every tear, every sigh, every moment when you pressed into faith despite exhaustion. The river is ready to overflow into blessing, provision, and recognition. This prophecy comes with clarity. The hidden favor that has been preparing your path is now moving into manifestation. Angels who have watched over your nights of weeping are now assigned to guide your steps, to guard your heart, and to ensure that nothing intended for your divine path will be lost or delayed. You will see the evidence of this in subtle ways. First, opportunities aligning, people showing up at precisely the right moment, circumstances that once seemed impossible falling into place. Yet the prophecy is not only about external events. It is about the spiritual alignment occurring within you. Your faith has been tested and strengthened. Your perseverance has cultivated resilience. Your prayers, once whispered in solitude, are now potent instruments of transformation, ready to bring about shifts in your life that honor God's timing and purpose. So embrace this moment with expectation. The tide of your destiny is rising. Your tears, which once seemed heavy and private, are now treasures being returned to you as a manifestation. What was silent will speak. What was hidden will shine. What you have longed for is arriving, not slowly, not vaguely, but in the unmistakable presence of divine orchestration. Stand firm and recognize it. The prophecy is personal. It is precise. It is for you. Every step you take now is guided by unseen hands. Every breath aligned with divine intention and every tear that was shed has contributed to the awakening of your moment. God has collected them all, and in return, He will reveal blessings so profound that your spirit will rejoice with recognition, awe, and gratitude. As the prophecy unfolds, it is crucial to understand the deeper spiritual meaning behind these revelations. Every tear you shed, every night of silent prayer, every moment of seemingly unanswered longing was not wasted. They were part of a divine process, an intricate spiritual choreography designed to prepare your heart for what you are about to receive. These experiences were not mere hardships. They were sacred training grounds, shaping your spirit to recognize, receive, and steward the blessings that were always meant to come. Think of your journey as a forest at dusk. The paths may have seemed tangled, dark, and uncertain. Yet beneath the surface, the roots of every tree are intertwined with the soil of heaven. Your struggles were like the seasons of drought, where growth is unseen, yet the roots deepen and strengthen, preparing for the first rains. And now the rains are coming. The prayers that were your tears are the nourishment that will allow your spirit to blossom in ways beyond what you imagined. Faith chosen. One is not just belief. It is the alchemy of trust under pressure. When you surrendered in moments of despair, when you whispered prayers even in doubt, you were participating in a sacred exchange. Every tear became a seed of divine promise, every sigh a conduit for God's favor. These seeds are now ready to germinate, yielding fruit that will manifest not only in your circumstances, but in your spirit, your influence, and your capacity to bless others. The storms you endured were never signs of abandonment. They were refinements of your faith. Like gold refined by fire, your spirit was being purified, stripped of fear, doubt, and dependence on the visible. You were being taught the language of the invisible, that every unseen prayer, every act of faith done in secrecy, carries immense weight in the kingdom of God. Your life has been forming a rhythm, a sacred cadence where patience meets timing and endurance meets reward. Doors that appeared closed, seasons that felt barren, and tears that felt unnoticed were all measures of divine timing. God's ways are not always immediate, they are perfect. He works according to a clock that coordinates the entirety of your life with the grand design of your destiny. Every moment you endured was purposeful, and every tear collected now serves as proof that your prayers were effective even when results were delayed. There is also a spiritual law at play. What is sown in tears is harvested in joy. Your hidden grief is being transformed into visible triumph. The challenges you faced were not random obstacles. They were calibrations of the soul. Every test, every difficulty, every moment you felt unseen prepared you to carry the weight of the blessings you are now ready to receive. Understand that this is a season of spiritual elevation. You are moving from waiting to awareness, from endurance to empowerment, from hidden labor to visible fruit. What you are experiencing is the intersection of faith, divine timing, and spiritual maturity. The universe itself is bending to the rhythm of your prayers, aligning people, places, and opportunities to fulfill what was always destined for you. So reflect on this truth. Your tears were not meaningless. Your prayers were not empty. Every moment of surrender, every sigh, every longing has been recorded in the heavens. And now the fullness of divine response is moving toward you. You are not only being blessed externally, but transformed internally. Your spirit is being aligned with the eternal currents of God's will, ready to carry forward His glory, your purpose, and your testimony. Let this understanding settle in your heart. The spiritual depth of your journey is as profound as the manifestation awaiting you. Your patience, Your perseverance and your faith are sacred instruments, each playing a note in the symphony of your destiny. The tears of yesterday are the water that nourishes the fruit of tomorrow. Every prayer collected is now a force moving to reshape your life, your spirit, and your testimony. As your prayers begin to manifest, pay close attention to the signs that are appearing all around you. God does not announce his movement with fanfare. He moves quietly, subtly, yet unmistakably. These signs are confirmations, proofs that what has been promised is on its way. They are the gentle nods from heaven that your prayers have been collected, treasured, and are now being acted upon. You may notice doors opening in ways that feel almost magical. Opportunities you once thought impossible suddenly present themselves. Conversations with people who carry the keys to your breakthrough appear at exactly the right time. These are not coincidences. They are orchestrations of divine timing. Pay attention, for these encounters are markers of your prayers moving from the spiritual to the physical. Nature itself may become a messenger. A sudden rainbow after a storm, a shaft of sunlight breaking through heavy clouds. The unexpected song of birds. At dawn, these small yet vivid moments can serve as reminders that God is near and attentive to your life. Your spirit may recognize them before your mind fully understands, but do not dismiss them. They are confirmations written in the world around you, a language only faith can fully read. Synchronicities will also become more frequent. Numbers repeating in unexpected ways, dreams that echo your waking desires, or meaningful coincidences in daily life. All of these are subtle affirmations. They are like breadcrumbs laid by God, leading you closer to the manifestation of your prayers. Pay attention to these moments. They are evidence that heaven is actively aligning your path. Feelings of peace, sudden clarity, or a deep inner knowing are also powerful confirmations. When doubt begins to creep in, you may suddenly feel a warmth in your heart, or a lightness in your spirit, signaling that your faith is being honored. These internal signs are just as real as the external ones, guiding you to trust the unseen currents moving in your favor. Even the people around you may serve as signs. Unexpected encouragement messages that arrive at the perfect moment, or acts of kindness that seem too timely to be accidental. All are ways that God affirms his presence. These signs are both subtle and unmistakable, meant to reassure you that your prayers have not fallen into emptiness. They are being collected, treasured, and now returned as tangible evidence of his faithfulness. Take note of these confirmations. Write them down, remember them, and let them strengthen your faith. Each sign, no matter how small, is part of a larger tapestry woven by divine hands. Together they form a map pointing you toward the fulfillment of what has been long awaited. Believe this truth: the universe is responding to your faith. Your prayers are being answered in ways both visible and invisible. The signs are already appearing, guiding you, confirming you, and reminding you that your journey, with all its tears and trials, has been known, treasured, and honored by heaven. Even as the signs of your prayers begin to appear, be aware that the path toward fulfillment will still carry hidden challenges. These are not punishments, nor are they indications that your prayers have been ignored. They are tests, sacred refinements, designed to strengthen your spirit, deepen your faith, and prepare you to receive what has been long awaited. You may encounter delays that seem unnecessary, obstacles that feel heavy, or opposition that comes from unexpected sources. These moments are designed to measure your perseverance, to see if your trust in God remains unshaken when circumstances appear contrary to hope. Remember, the strongest steel is forged in the hottest fire, and your faith is being tempered for greatness. Some challenges will be subtle, almost imperceptible. A relationship may test your patience. A financial need may press upon you. A dream you have held close to your heart may seem just out of reach. These are the silent battles that shape the character of the chosen one. God allows them not to break you, but to prepare you for the weight and responsibility of the blessings he is bringing. Other challenges may appear more obvious, like storms in your path. Rejection, Miscommunication or sudden change can feel disorienting. Yet these moments are also sacred. They reveal the areas in your heart that need surrender, the corners of your soul that need refinement, and the ways your faith must grow in courage and trust. Through these trials, your perseverance is strengthened, and your readiness for divine reward is amplified. Be vigilant for internal challenges as well. Doubt, fear, and impatience may arise, attempting to cloud your vision of what God is doing. These are as real as any external test, and overcoming them is essential. Speak truth to your spirit. Remind yourself that your tears have been collected, your prayers are being answered, and your path is being orchestrated by a higher power. Faith is not passive. It is active trust in the unseen, and this is the moment to exercise it. Know this: every hidden challenge carries a blessing within it. Each obstacle, delay, or difficult moment is a teacher, a signal that your spirit is being prepared to handle the fullness of what is coming. Your endurance now will make the reward later all the more vivid, powerful, and transformative. These moments are not the end of your journey. They are the preparation for the awakening of your destiny. Hold firm in hope. Keep your heart aligned with God's promises. And as you navigate these unseen challenges, remember that you are never walking alone. Every step you take, every tear you shed, every act of faith is supported by unseen hands, guiding you through the trials toward the breakthrough that is coming. Now that you understand the signs and the challenges, it is time to prepare your heart, mind, and spirit for what is coming. God is calling you to deliberate, intentional action, a spiritual readiness that aligns your life with His timing and purpose. This is not optional. It is sacred responsibility, and it is also an empowerment, because what you do now will determine how fully you receive the blessings that have been long awaited. Begin each day with intentional prayer and gratitude. Speak directly to God about your desires, your hopes, and even your fears. Acknowledge that every tear, every moment of doubt, and every long night of longing has been noticed and is being transformed. Let your prayers move beyond requests. Let them become affirmations of faith and trust in divine timing. For in this you align your spirit with the flow of heaven. Next, cultivate clarity of heart. Release what no longer serves your purpose: bitterness, resentment, and fear. These emotions, while natural, can cloud your ability to recognize divine movement. Forgive those who have hurt you, not for their sake, but to free yourself to step into the fullness of your destiny. The lighter your heart becomes, the more capacity it has to receive and steward the blessings God is preparing. Listen closely to intuition, dreams, and inner promptings. They are instruments of guidance. You may find that your spirit feels nudged towards certain actions, conversations, or decisions. Do not ignore these subtle currents. They are often the divine instructions that precede visible results. Acting in alignment with these promptings will accelerate your path and keep you on the trajectory heaven has prepared. Act with courage and visible steps. Opportunities will present themselves. Doors may open, people may arrive, or moments may demand decisive action. Move forward with confidence, trusting that God has cleared the path and that the timing is perfect. Hesitation or fear will only delay what is destined. Faith is not passive. It is active obedience, stepping boldly when guided by the Spirit. Guard your thoughts and words. Speak life affirmation and trust over yourself and your circumstances. Words are vessels of power. Declare your prayers as already answered. Say, "My tears have been collected, and my prayers are moving in divine timing." By speaking in faith, you align the unseen spiritual forces with your intention, preparing the terrain for manifestation. Create space for reflection and discernment. Quiet moments of meditation, journaling, or simply sitting in stillness allow God's guidance to become clearer. In these moments, you will recognize patterns, insights, and confirmations that are easily missed in busyness. This space is sacred, a time to listen to the whispers of heaven and anchor your spirit in divine truth. Finally, embrace patience without passivity. The blessings that have been promised are arriving, but divine timing cannot be rushed. Understand that your preparation now, your prayers, your heart's alignment, and your actions ensures that when the manifestation comes, it will be complete, sustaining, and transformative. Trust the process and continue walking in faith, knowing that every step is guided, every tear accounted for, and every prayer collected. Take these instructions seriously. They are not merely advice, they are a roadmap to receiving the fullness of your destiny. Your readiness will amplify your breakthrough, your wisdom will guide your steps, and your faith will transform every manifestation into lasting impact. Act now, align fully, and prepare for the fulfillment that is coming. As you step forward into the fulfillment of your prayers, rest in the knowledge that you are fully protected. God's hand surrounds you unseen, yet undeniable, shielding you from harm, guiding your steps and keeping every obstacle that is not meant for you away. You are not alone in this journey. Every tear, every prayer, and every act of faith has invoked the presence of divine guardians assigned to your path. Imagine a fortress of light surrounding you, a radiant shield that no darkness can penetrate. This is not metaphor. It is spiritual truth. Angels walk beside you unseen but vigilant, ready to redirect the path, soften the impact of trials, and ensure that your steps remain aligned with divine purpose. Whenever fear arises, remember that this protection is constant. You are watched over not occasionally, but always. Even in moments when circumstances seem uncertain, when the storms of life rage around you, know that your spirit is anchored in security. Your prayers, collected and treasured, act as markers of divine favor. Each tear has been a key unlocking layers of protection, preparing a path where your destiny cannot be derailed. The same hands that collected your prayers now wield a shield that safeguards your progress. This protection is both spiritual and practical. You may notice coincidences that keep you safe, guidance that redirects your steps away from danger, or sudden peace that calms anxiety. These are the whispers of assurance, confirming that God's watchful presence is not passive. It is active, deliberate, and intimately aware of your needs. Trust in this protection even when challenges appear. They may test your patience, but they cannot undo the alignment heaven has established. Fear and doubt may knock, but the fortress surrounding you is unshakable. Every prayer you have offered, every tear you have shed, has fortified this shield. The more you lean into faith, the stronger your protection becomes. So carry yourself with confidence. Move forward, knowing that the unseen is at work, guiding, protecting, and preparing the way. The trials that may come are not stronger than the divine protection enveloping you. The whisper of heaven assures you nothing intended for your good will be lost, and nothing meant to harm you can succeed. Rest in this truth. You are safe, you are watched over, and you are guided. Every tear has been collected, every prayer answered, and every step you take is accompanied by the unwavering presence of God. Walk boldly, knowing that your destiny is protected, and the blessings coming to you cannot be stopped. Now envision the moment your prayers take form, the transformation that comes after the seasons of waiting, endurance, and hidden tears. Imagine yourself stepping into a light so radiant it illuminates everything around you. What was once hidden is now revealed. The favor, blessings, and breakthroughs that seemed distant are now tangible, undeniable, and life-altering. This is the fulfillment of what heaven has been preparing for you. Your spirit will feel lighter, freer, and more aligned than ever before. The burdens of past struggles, the weight of doubt, and the silence of unanswered prayers will dissolve, replaced by clarity, purpose, and a profound peace. You will recognize that every tear, every act of faith, every moment of surrender was instrumental in shaping this very moment. You are no longer defined by the waiting, but by the victory that has arrived. Externally, your life will reflect this transformation. Doors that were once closed will now open with ease. Opportunities that seemed impossible will arrive precisely when needed. People who doubted or overlooked you will witness your rise not as coincidence, but as unmistakable evidence of divine orchestration. Your path will be marked by alignment, favor, and synchronicity, a testimony to the unseen work of God in your life. Emotionally, the impact will be profound. Gratitude will rise within your heart like a river overflowing its banks. Joy will replace sorrow. Hope will replace despair, and peace will replace anxiety. You will stand in awe of the magnitude of God's faithfulness, recognizing that every struggle was temporary, every tear was a prayer, and every delay was a divine calibration for this precise season. Spiritually, you will feel an elevation, a deep resonance with the divine purpose embedded in your life. Your prayers, once whispers, have transformed into power. Your voice, once quiet in longing, now carries authority. Your faith, once tested, now shines as a beacon for others who may still be in the waiting season. You have become a living testimony that perseverance, trust, and surrender produce miraculous results. Your transformation also carries responsibility. As the blessings flow, so does the call to steward them wisely. Your testimony will inspire, your influence will expand, and your life will become a channel through which others can witness the power of divine faithfulness. What was once private has become public, not for self-glorification, but for the glory of God and the encouragement of those still walking in patience and faith. The culmination of your prayers, chosen one, is both tangible and intangible. It is the convergence of answered petitions, spiritual growth, and a deeper understanding of divine timing. Every tear that fell in secrecy now bears fruit in abundance, forming a mosaic of triumph, gratitude, and spiritual elevation. Your life has been reoriented to reflect the fullness of God's intention, and the proof of His hand will be evident in your peace, joy, and provision. Stand in awe of this transformation. Embrace it fully. Allow your spirit to rejoice, your heart to sing, and your faith to soar. You have endured, prayed, and trusted, and now the manifestation of your prayers has arrived. Your tears were never wasted. They were prayers, and God has collected them all, returning them to you in overflowing blessing, visible favor, and spiritual elevation. Take a deep breath and feel the truth of what has been spoken. Let it settle in your spirit, anchoring your faith in the certainty of God's faithfulness. Now declare these affirmations aloud, internalizing their power. 1. My tears were prayers, and they have been heard. Every moment of sorrow, every silent cry has been collected by heaven and is now returning as blessing and favor. 2. I am aligned with God's perfect timing. Nothing in my life happens by chance. Every delay, every test, every waiting season was designed to prepare me for this moment. 3. I am protected, guided, and empowered. The hand of God surrounds me. Angels walk beside me, and divine favor clears the way for my destiny to unfold. 4. I receive the fullness of my blessings with gratitude. I embrace the transformation, the provision, and the purpose that God has prepared for me, trusting fully in His perfect plan. Repeat these affirmations often. Let them resonate in your spirit, becoming the foundation of your faith and the lens through which you see your life. Now receive this blessing. May the God who collects every tear and hears every prayer pour out His favor upon you. May He illuminate your path, open doors that were once closed, and grant clarity to every step you take. May His protection surround you, His peace fill your heart, and His presence guide your every thought and action. May the transformation that has been prepared for you manifest in abundance, aligning your life with divine purpose, elevating your spirit, and allowing you to shine as a testimony of God's faithfulness. May your joy overflow, your gratitude deepen, and your hope strengthen as you walk in the fullness of your destiny. Go forward now, knowing that your prayers are no longer silent, your tears are no longer unnoticed, and your faith has been rewarded. Step boldly into this season of blessing, carrying the assurance that God has collected all you have offered in faith and is returning it to you in ways both profound and eternal. Amen.